Why did Dorry take her own life? The tragic truth behind her final decision. One of the most heartbreaking moments in the Terror, Devil in Silver Episode 5 was not the appearance of the devil. It wasn't the mystery behind the silver door. It wasn't even the danger closing in around New Hyde Hospital. It was the moment when Dorry, a character who had carried decades of pain, finally reached her breaking point. But the biggest question fans are asking is, was it because she couldn't handle the pain anymore? Was it because New Hyde had taken everything from her? Or was there something darker happening behind the scenes? Because when we look deeper into Dorry's story, her final decision may not just be about sadness. It may reveal the true horror at the center of the Terror, Devil in Silver. Today we are breaking down one of the most emotional moments from the Terror, Devil in Silver Episode 5, and exploring the possible reasons behind Dorry's tragic ending. Dorry was one of the most mysterious characters in the series. At first, she seemed like just another patient inside New Hyde. Someone with strange stories. Someone who knew more than she revealed. But Episode 5 completely changes the way we see her. Because behind everything was a woman who had spent her entire life fighting to survive. And that makes her final choice even more devastating. The first thing we need to understand is that Dorry's pain did not begin in Episode 5. Her suffering started decades earlier. Before New Hyde became the place where everyone knew her, Dorry was someone completely different. She had a life. She had dreams. She had a future. But slowly, those things were taken away from her. The institution that was supposed to help her became the place where she lost herself. Years turned into decades. Memories became painful reminders. And the woman she once was became someone trapped inside a system that had forgotten her. This is what makes Dorry's story so tragic. She wasn't just fighting a supernatural force. She was fighting a lifetime of being ignored. One possible reason behind Dorry's decision is that she finally faced the truth about everything she lost. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't the pain you're experiencing. It's realizing how much time has already passed. Dorry had spent so many years surviving that she may have finally looked back and asked, what was my life supposed to be? Who would I have become? What did I lose? Those questions can be more painful than any physical threat. And Episode 5 shows us that Dorry was carrying the weight of an entire lifetime. Another possible reason is guilt. Dorry always seemed to understand that something was wrong inside New Hyde. She knew the hospital was hiding dark secrets. She understood the danger better than most people. But maybe she felt like she failed. Maybe after everything that happened, after seeing people suffer and watching the hospital continue to collapse, she believed there was nothing left she could do. The devil was getting stronger. The system was falling apart. And the people in power were still refusing to listen. Dorry may have felt like she was trapped in a battle she could never win. One of the most painful interpretations of Dorry's ending is that she spent her entire life without control. Other people decided her future. Doctors decided what happened to her. The institution decided where she belonged. Her voice was ignored. Her experiences were dismissed. So when Dorry made her final decision, it may have represented the first time she felt she had complete control over something. That does not make the moment less tragic. It actually makes it more heartbreaking, because it shows just how powerless she had felt for so long. But this is the Terror, Devil in Silver. And there is another possibility. What if Dorry wasn't acting completely on her own? The devil inside New Hyde appears to feed on suffering. It grows stronger from fear, trauma, and hopelessness. And if anyone carried those emotions, it was Dorry. She had decades of pain inside her, decades of anger, decades of loneliness. That makes her the perfect target for something evil. The question is, did the devil simply take advantage of her pain? Or did it influence her decision? The show may never give us a simple answer. And that's what makes it terrifying. There is also another theory. Maybe Dorry believed she was protecting others. Maybe she understood that New Hyde was beyond saving. Maybe she knew something was coming that nobody else could see. Throughout the season, Dorry has been someone who notices things before everyone else. She understands the darkness. She understands the danger. So perhaps her final act wasn't only about herself. Perhaps she believed She was removing one more piece of suffering from a place filled with darkness. A tragic sacrifice. A final attempt to escape the nightmare. The most powerful part of Dorry's ending is that her tragedy isn't only about the devil. The supernatural thread is frightening. The creature behind the silver door is terrifying. But Dorry's story shows something even darker. A person can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone. A person can be alive and still feel like their life has already been taken from them. That is the true horror of New Hyde. The devil may live inside the building, but the suffering was created long before the devil arrived. Dorry's death will likely remain one of the most emotional moments of the terror, Devil in Silver. Whether she was defeated by her past, overwhelmed by hopelessness, influenced by the devil, or trying to protect others, one thing is clear. Dorry was a character who carried the pain of New Hyde on her shoulders. Her story reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not the ones hiding in the shadows. Sometimes they are the things people refuse to see. And now heading into the finale, the biggest question remains. Let me know your thought in the comments. Do you think Dorry's death was caused by the devil, or was it the result of everything New Hyde put her through?